بداية معنا السيد كريستوفر جونستون. السيد كريستوفر هو القائم بالأعمال في السفارة الكندية. أهلا وسهلا، الكلمة لك، تفضل.
So Excellencies, colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen, Sabah al-Khair. That's about the Arabic, I know, so I'll at least try to say some at the beginning. I'm extremely delighted to be launching the Women in History Jordan Summit this morning. And this is, as you know, the 4th edition of this important event. And Canada is very proud of its continued involvement in the summit. So on behalf of the Government of Canada, on behalf of our embassy here in Amman, I'd like to welcome you to this summit. And as you may know, Women in History Jordan began in 2017 when Hada came to us with the idea of organizing an event that would honor Canadian and Jordanian women inspired by Canada's own Women's History Month, which is ongoing now. So during the month of October in Canada, we celebrate the achievements and the contributions of women from across our country, from throughout our history and from all walks of life in Canada. And so for Canadians, this is both a national event and a deeply personal experience for us. Women's History Month is a time to remember the many struggles and the many achievements of women in Canada's history. Today, as you may know, is an election day in Canada, and millions of women across the country will not only be voting in our national election, but will be running as candidates and winning as candidates. I myself have voted in an advance poll. My particular district had, I think, 7 candidates, 3 of whom were women. I proudly can say I voted for a woman. And I can say that without giving away which party I actually voted for. In my own hometown's history, there are women athletes, women medical researchers, artists, academics, and a prominent, long-standing mayor of our city. Women's History Month for us, though, is also a time to remember and honor the achievements of women in our own personal lives. And although I've met many Canadian women who were heads of state, who were astronauts, Supreme Court justices, Olympic gold medalists, including one of the women I think pictured here, Manon Rhéaume, the inspiration of my own life and my thoughts during the month really go to my own personal history and prominent women in my own life. In my case, my maternal grandmother. She was born in the early 1900s, had no access to higher education. But in addition to raising 7 children, she worked full-time in an office and had a long and thriving career. And she was the first woman in her family to do this. She was also driving herself around at age 96. She used to buy the largest American automobile and literally drove looking through the steering wheel like this, right up to age 96. I also honor my mother this month. She did obtain a university degree, but she wasn't encouraged to use it. She gave up her own career to raise children, but eventually went back to school and earned a second degree, earned a master's degree, and earned a PhD in clinical psychology. And although it was late in starting, she built a successful career as a clinical psychologist at a time when there were very few women opening a private practice in my hometown and doing this. So these are the role models in my own family, both for girls in the family and for us boys. So by knowing and celebrating the successes of women in our history, we're able to inspire new generations to continue building the path that was paved by these remarkable women, whether they're well-known women or women from our own personal lives. So Women in History Month for us is one of the many ways Canada promotes the empowerment of women, which is a key priority for Canada. Women's empowerment and gender equality are at the core of Canada's values, and this is reflected both at home and abroad for us. In our work around the world, Canada recognizes that promoting gender equality, empowering women and girls, is one of the most effective paths to eradicating poverty and to building a more peaceful, inclusive, and a prosperous world. The theme again for this year's Women in History Month is Make an Impact, or hashtag make an impact. That makes me feel old to put hashtag in front of something, but that's the banner for this year. So this is in honor of women and girls who have made a lasting impact as pioneers in their fields. Whether as business leaders, as researchers, artists, activists, women of impact have helped shape Canada into a thriving, diverse, and prosperous country through their own achievements and through their desire to make a difference. Women in History Jordan is working here to build a platform and a space where Jordanian women from different fields can come together, share their challenges and successes, and inspire one another to make a positive impact in their communities and to build a brighter future for women, for girls and boys, and for all of society. Since its launch in Amman in 2017, Women in History Jordan has been a great success in showcasing women leaders in Jordan and listening to their stories and in learning about their experiences. The success of Women in History Jordan following a partnership with Canada is something that we're extremely proud of. This is the kind of partnership that Canada is keen to support. Grassroots initiatives that grow and succeed because of their foundations in the local community. The women's rights movement in Jordan isn't a new one, we know this, and Jordanians have earned significant achievements for women and for gender equality over the years. Women in History Jordan is yet another one of the efforts of Jordanian women to advance equality. As Women in History Jordan continues to grow, Canada will continue to provide both our moral support and our advocacy. I want to thank our sponsors, Orange, Khawarizmi Technical University College, Aryan Rotana, Quino, Advise PR, the Royal Film Commission, and our media partners, Roya, Mazaj FM, Hala FM, Bliss FM, and a thank you to Assam Print House. I want to thank our Canadian and Jordanian panelists for being with us at this important event. And of course, I want to thank all of you for being here with us in person today, so shukran. Finally, before I finish, I would like to present something. And I don't know if she knows this is coming or not, but I'd like to give something to Khada in recognition, can you come up here? In recognition for her hard work and for her dedication not only to development of Women in History Jordan, but more broadly for your contributions to the partnership between Jordan and Canada. We'd like to present you with this Canada 150 pin. As you may know, we've just celebrated last year our 150-year anniversary as a country, so we have these really nice pins. We don't give them to just everyone, but we would be honored if you would take this as a token of our appreciation.